Hey guys, so we're going to do a reading tonight. I know you guys have been watching the testimony of Amber Heard. I've done some readings on things so far and everything. We did, let's see, we did a reading before the trial. That's all up there. Okay. We did a little bit. Johnny Depp, is he winning? How's he looking to the public? A little preview before Amber Heard's testimony. How's it going to go? Okay, she got the tower in the outcome. Okay, so it wasn't going to be good. But let's talk about it before I do this read. So because what we're going to kind of do is yes, and I know some of you kind of want to know, and I know many people have already kind of, they're already leaning a certain way because of certain things going on. But obviously, maybe what's fact, what's fiction, and things like that with this testimony, which I know we're reading through a lot of stuff here. Okay, some of my assessments, but we're still going to pull tarot to do it because I do like to have the tarot do the talking. Okay, we like to see what kind of cards the spirit kind of shows us to kind of make some points and things like that. It's a lot to weigh in. Now, if I go back and reflect back to read one, what I did, innocence card, the sun showed for Johnny. That being this horrible abuser doesn't look like that is him. But the opposing card was the Seven of Cups, which for me can represent addictions because Neptune rules the Seven of Cups card, okay? And it can have to do with poor choices, trying to escape reality, all kinds of stuff. I educated you guys a little bit about that as well. So I told you guys his addiction problem was going to be a big thing. And I feel that now this trial is coming in, a lot of people are starting to realize that Johnny Depp has a little bit bigger addiction than maybe they realized. Okay, so we definitely, this is kind of what I feel here. Now, some of these cases, the abuse, we're going to look at that, what Spirit has to say. They're definitely questionable, of course, because we know of other tapes prior, and she has admitted on tape to hitting him. But this is kind of what I'm feeling is going on here. This is just in my assessment. When I look at her telling the stories of the abuse, there is a very different behavior. There's a lot of, contorting the face, almost trying to force to cry, acting scared, weird stuff. Okay. There's a lot. The behavior is very different. Okay, and there's a lot of stuff going on with that. So some of the, like holding the dog out the window, this sounds kind of odd. Okay, this sounds kind of odd. And even this one, let me talk about this one. Hold on. I cut this and put this, like I said, I wish I knew how to put things on my video like other, I need an editor. If I ever get famous, I'll get an editor. I'll get somebody to do my stuff. But hold on, where did it go? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this photo that was shown to Amber Heard. Okay, if you've been watching the testimony, this goes way back. Now, this is apparently a fight they had. You can see she's a lot younger. She got dark hair, and look at the bruise. She apparently took that photo, okay, and sent it to her mom when they had apparently a physical fight. Now, the bruise is kind of funny as I kind of look at it. It doesn't necessarily look like a handprint, but it could maybe a bump or whatever. But she said that this altercation, she had been punched repeatedly in the face. So look at the face though. Look real close. I'm not seeing any bruises on that face. I see a bruise on the arm, which could come in so many different ways, but I'm not seeing anything on her face. I would think if she was repeatedly slap, punch, because this is what she said. I'm going by what she said repeatedly. Okay, that this should show. And I even kind of blew up, that right there and really tried to look at it, and I'm just not seeing it. Okay, so there's that. There's that. And I know they showed some other photos and everything, but this is going way back. For whatever reason, she felt to show her mom this arm, but this is supposedly a moment when the face has been repeatedly punched, slapped around, whatever. And he does wear big rings. Okay. There was also something very bizarre Okay, about the time when she claimed she was first slapped, when she laughed about his Winona tattoo. You know, that goes way back to Winona Forever. He's had that tattoo for a very long time, and I think he tried to cover it up or something. And she apparently laughs, and he slaps her, and she laughs because she doesn't know how to react, and happens to get it again. And she goes through a big whole story about it. Okay, you know that this is a time. But then apparently he starts crying, and then he says, you know, the monster. He starts referring to the monster has come out, and then he says, "Oh, I've done this once before, and but I got to put the monster back in." So apparently he refers to some monster. Abusers, I mean, just I maybe maybe there's some who have, maybe I don't know, but usually, that referring to the monster coming out is kind of an odd thing. It sounds like a Jekyll and Hyde movie or something. So it sounded a little funky to me when she says that. We'll talk about that. We'll look at that, okay? But this is what I do feel. And some of you may be like, but you know what? I'm sorry, this is what I feel. When she does talk about certain things with Johnny Depp, and it even shows, watch read one, it's up there, the first read I did on it, I talked, the addiction was going to be an issue. I did feel that was real. Okay? Anyone with half a brain knows Johnny Depp has a problem. This is what I feel. When she talks about various things about the addiction, like getting doctors and trying to steady this or put him in rehab that, or various things with him, maybe vomiting on himself. I have been, when I told you, in situations where I've been with someone vomiting on themselves. If they binge hard and do things, they can lose control over stuff. This is a real thing. If you're, if they heavily binge or various things. Okay, I know what that's like, and it's gross and it's ugly, and it can make you angry. Okay, to deal with. So what I kind of feel is this, just kind of assessing. Okay, we've got a situation where two people come together. She's got kind of her own issues. Okay, and he's got an addiction problem, and they come together. And I feel one of the things is with her, my assessment is when he does this stuff, like he's getting loaded or doing drugs, various things, she gets angry. Okay, now I want you to notice something in his testimony. Okay, in his testimony. When we go back to the story about when he apparently been sober for a few months, but whatever reason they were having a fight, something was going on, and he went and he got a thing of vodka and he started pouring it and started drinking it and stuff. And he admitted he was going off his sobriety. He poured some vodka, and that's when she started chucking bottles at him. Okay, and that's the night he got his finger cut. Okay, the cigarette in his face and all that. I'm telling you that I already kind of felt it, but I see it more and more with the testimony, and that a lot of why, and I'm not saying he deserved it, do not get me wrong, but I feel, especially with her being kind of young, marrying an older person, who's famous but has a severe problem with alcohol and drugs, that her reaction to moments like that is anger, is rage. Okay, now there's some testimony in there, and I do believe she's telling the truth, that apparently her father had some problems, okay, with maybe some alcohol and some drug stuff. There was something, definitely alcohol. Okay, so it looks like, and maybe he went through a sober period, she did mention that, but then he fell off the wagon. There was some weird stuff, and then she was saying Johnny took a picture of her holding a shot and said to her dad, something weird, I don't know. But there's definitely, if she grew up with that, okay, and then she ends up, and I told you how easy you could walk into it. Remember, we talked about that on another video if you're watching all my videos on this. It's easy to marry your mother, like he did, and it's easy to marry your father, like she did. Okay, because her dad has a problem. Okay, I'm doing a reasonable, honest assessment here. Okay, it can't simply be that she's just this horrible monster who wants to destroy someone. Okay, what is, going on here? Now, there are some people that are just real angry, nasty, and so forth, and beat on people. They're, yes, of course, they're abusive people. But what I feel is, in these moments where Johnny's having problems, like, notice they're just kind of uncovered. Bear with me here. Let's blow away the haze. When she talks about when he's sober, this, that, oh, it's beautiful, and maybe he is behaving his best self. When he's not, high or whatever, or drinking, maybe he is his best self. But what appears, though, with him, with his kind of drinking and so forth, and the way he gets is kind of passing out, and maybe, like I said, I'm not necessarily too far off that he vomits on himself, because I have been with someone who has done that and stuff. There was one, the one, I told you I was with someone who did get sober. But I remember there's been a few times, but I remember one time being there when he was binging hard. I think he had just lost his job or something. And I remember he was laying on the couch and he was just way binge hard and started throwing up all over stuff. And it was a lot. And there was no fucking way I was going to clean him up. I'll tell you, I was mad. And I remember being mad in situations like that when I saw it, dealt with it, and things like that. And so I wouldn't hurt anybody, of course, but I'm like, I'm not cleaning this. I'm not cleaning this. Okay. And so, and it was just like somebody poured a bucket of vomit on him. Okay. So, and as far as losing bowels, peeing, pooping, if you get really, inebriated, if you binge hard, if somebody goes on a binge, okay, that, I've been around that too. Yeah, that happens. And it's gross. Okay, that's a real thing that can happen. So I know some people might, oh, he probably did. Actually, as he does have a problem, and we know he does. Okay, they can do that. They can poop on themselves. They can pee on themselves, and it's awful. Okay, so this is my feel so far. We're gonna look at the reading. I feel that as they came together, like I said, I feel he married his mother, who was an abuser. She married her father, who had a problem, and in her frustration, trying to get him to quit, do this, her reaction is anger. Her reaction is rage. Okay, and so this is what I feel the dynamic is. As far as him, beating her down and everything, I'm actually not feeling that. We've got video, we've got this, and if he was pounding her to the level that she is talking, there would be more photos than just, and I know she's brought up a few. It looks like they're all photos from like the period, the 2016 when she emerged. That's all we got. It just seems there would be tons of stuff and everything, but we've got back then, the one bruise on the arm that I just showed you. Okay, but this is, like I said, this is supposed to be when he's slapping her around, punching her in the face, he's holding her down. It's repeatedly, she says, there's a bruise on the arm, but there's nothing on the face and stuff. And then there's other pictures, like she says she was choked, shows a picture, but there's nothing around the neck at all. Okay, so there's a lot. So is this just anger, getting back at him for I went through hell with this person, I had to deal with his drinking and his this and his that, and just and this was a way to get back at whatever it may be, anger. So, and that's what I'm kind of feeling. So I can almost empathize knowing what that's like. Okay, on one end, dealing with somebody who has a real serious addiction problem, drinking problem, various things like that, especially when they binge. Okay, and it's not even about that, but they can really hurt themselves. They can kill themselves. There's, if they're, doing certain things, just like I said, my ex, drinking problem, he was doing the prescription meds like Johnny Depp, and I do believe he is. Okay, I'm sure that's what these are. They put them on painkillers. They do this in Hollywood. Okay, they give them what they want pretty much. But anyway, but you mix all that together, and I hope he is working on getting clean or doing what he doing his best here. Okay, because he won't live a long life if he doesn't stop that. Okay, he has to stop that and everything. So that's some of my assessments, but there is a definite behavior change if you observe her when she's talking about certain things with the addiction, bringing in doctors, trying to talk to him about, when she's just there, when she's not talking about abuse, there's a different, more coherent, it doesn't seem like we're acting, we're being a little more factual. And she comes across more believable. I believe that in those moments, I believe that she's being sincere. Okay, when it comes to talking about the addiction. So like I said, when you hear about things, with this as far as drinking, prescription. Now is the one photo with the lines and the liquor and all that looked like kind of a staged photo and everything. That did look kind of staged, like she was trying to, it just, looked a little too arranged. That looked a little weird and stuff. But it was there in the house, right? I mean, it's kind of, but anyway, but as far as that, I know some good friends of Johnny said he could hold his liquor. Okay, come on, that, and he's got a problem. Okay, that even came up in reading one. Okay, that was going to be an issue. You're going to hear about it. He's got a problem. That's the one thing that would go against him. That here he is innocent, but this is the one thing they're going to use against him. Okay, and it can, because people know how people can be affected if they're using and stuff. They can behave differently and so forth. But it looks like for the most part, like when she was talking about various, when he's in and out, like she's having a conversation with him and he's got a cigarette and he's falling asleep with a cigarette, it seems like a lot of times these, with binges or the drugs, a lot of times they're knocking people out, is what they can do and so forth. So it's all kind of different, weird stuff. So we're going to look at that, but I just wanted to give you guys just kind of my feel when I'm reading it. I'm a pretty good judge of character. This is my job. I'm not saying I'm the say all end all, and I'm not saying I can't be fooled. Don't get me wrong. I'm a human being, but I do feel, and I felt that, I know this is going to be an issue. And, but when she's talking about various things with his doctors and rehab, and he even admitted he was sober for a few months when he picked up the vodka. I'm telling you, and I knew it then, and I especially am feeling it even more. Okay, the night he gets his finger, this one, his finger, I do believe she was chucking bottles at him, because she's probably, she's wanting this man to get sober, because and I'm sure they do get along better when he's sober. They probably do. Okay? And stuff, absolutely. She probably, when he's like this, because it's hell to be around someone like that. When someone's drinking and binging and, falling out and oh, it just makes you angry. Especially if you had to grow up with it, and that's what I was, before all her testimony and all this came out, I was like, I wonder if, like, one of the parents had a problem, because, like I said, you can marry your fathers, your mothers, la da da, it happens, and stuff, and sure enough, the father has had a problem. Okay, so it makes perfect, that there's this, if I can only get him to stop. See, this is what happens. If people had a parent who had an addiction, maybe they couldn't get them to stop. As a kid, they felt powerless. And it's real easy. If you're a kid, or if you were a kid with a parent who's an addict, I know for anyone, you have wondered, why don't they love me enough to quit? We as children all ask that question. Okay? So, okay, you kind of think of that. Amber Heard kind of growing up dealing with that. Okay, that would certainly explain why she wants to get the hell out of that small town in Texas, right? She just, no, I want to get out of here. Okay, so we got that. So if you end up in a situation where you really fall in love with the person, and remember the love card for Amber Heard popped up in the reading and so forth. The Two of Cups was there. Okay, it was there. I do believe that these people, when they came together, I do believe they loved each other. Okay, I do believe the love is there. That I don't think that's a lie. I don't think she was like, oh, he's Johnny Depp and he's gonna make me a star. I'm not saying that wasn't a perk, but I'm sure, he's very charming. He's adorable. Why wouldn't she fall in love with him? Okay, of course she's going to. Okay, and stuff, but then we got, obviously the death card, and we got all the drama that pops up. But definitely, I do believe absolutely, be taken back, charismatic. He's a good looking man. He's charming. He could take her to islands. Oh yeah, absolutely. Who wouldn't fall in love with that? Sure, I believe that's real. But remember, and when you grow up with that as a child, one of the things maybe someone might stay with an addict longer, trying to save them, trying to get them to change. If they really love me, they'll change. They'll become. There's something about saving the parent in the relationship. It's like trying to do that. Okay, all over again. So empathizing and looking at her side. When I get past all the BS, because there's a lot of BS to wade through, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. I empathize with that. I would have loved, though, however, it's so many ways this could have gone. Like maybe if they, instead of this whole thing here that came about for whatever reason, that it would have come out more that, if she would have just been like, I was, with an addict and this and that. And she could have got even empathy for people if she had been more honest, and maybe even as far as the hitting, which we know there's a DV problem because she has been arrested for domestic violence before with another partner. He has not, but she has been arrested. Okay. So she can have a temper. She can get angry. Okay. But anyway, so, with that, if maybe would have came out with a story, that, surviving with an addict, she could have been someone who had more, empathy, and maybe her story, maybe Johnny would have been more motivated to get some help, and things like that. Who knows? But there's a lot of anger there. Okay, that, and I feel a lot of anger, and maybe part of this, whole revenge is, he couldn't clean up his act. Couldn't clean up his act, change this and that, and her way, I feel they got into a very sick and twisted relationship, where he's using this, that, and she's taking her anger out on him in these moments. Okay, beating on him and stuff like that. That's what I feel. It's almost like the anger. Why don't you love me enough to quit? Okay, why not? Just like I said, is that the question? Pretty much every child of an addict asks of a parent. Why don't you love me enough to quit? Okay, I just, because also what it does is it impacts your life so much. The dark cloud around, to have to see it, be around it, and everything is absolutely horrific. And I know, just like I told you, alcoholic father, then my mother left him, then she picked up a problem. So I basically had to deal with this up until I was 19 years old when she finally got sober. So from birth to 19, I had to live my childhood dealing with people that had a freaking problem. Okay. So of course, and so, like I said, I'm still Team Johnny because the defamation, I believe he's being accused of things that he did not do. Okay, that's wrong. That's wrong. Okay, but I would have liked, if she would have ever just been, came forward, I'm leaving because he's got a problem I can't deal with the drugs and alcohol anymore. I'm getting divorced because of this, and it's been my life a living hell. That would be okay, okay. But these bruises, the makeup, all the lies, that have come forward, and then and almost wanting to punish him in various ways is kind of what I'm feeling here. I have a dream, to have, like the Two of Cups dream, the soulmate dream, to live this beautiful life, and he's taken away from me, and stuff. So, it's a lot, you're robbing me of my dream here and everything. So that I feel is her side. Okay, that I feel is her side. And right now she spun herself into a thing that, yeah, if you're being sued for $50 million, you're going to lie. You're going to, she kind of has to. Okay, because that's a lot of change that she can't afford. And then, of course, she's trying to save her career. Everybody hates her and everything. And that's what happens when you're not honest, and truth and things come out. And so he's generating a lot of, empathy. But, let's face it, he's got a problem. He's got a serious problem. But that's what I feel a lot of the dynamic that happened in that relationship. I feel she raged in these moments when he's, drinking. I mean, we clearly saw she did get him on video. Now, the slamming around, I think his mom had just died. Remember, he slamming cabinets and all that? But he poured himself that wine glass. Like, when I pour myself a wine glass, it's like this and stuff. I actually think I was sitting on the couch right there, and I will put that much in a glass, and that's good. That was a big wine and stuff. Oh man, that's like almost a whole bottle in that thing. So it was a big thing. But he was obviously he was going through a very hard time at that moment. But we could see, that the rage. That's what I think it made a rage. But let's look at it, okay? So a few things we're going to kind of look at. But for the abuse, we're going to what is going on, what cards are going to pop up with that, and just even what I'm saying here, is that what made her angry? Okay, is that what made her angry? Is this what's going on? Am I right? Okay, but that's what I'm kind of feeling. So let's check it out. I know I spent about 26 minutes, but I feel though, because that is a psychic impression. I know you guys love to get into cards, but I feel you guys really I want you to look at that. Pay attention if you're, and I believe she's testifying tomorrow. Well, yeah, because they're going to be counter, they're going to be doing the counter and everything. But I want you to pay attention. Watch when she talks about basics of the addiction, basics like the doctors, this, that, when she's describing things. And then when she talks about certain things, maybe he, supposedly, allegedly did as far as abuse. Okay, let's check it out. And so far, YouTube, when I'm saying things, is not cutting me. So we'll, see if I can monetize, because I did say some things. So, but I just kind of want you guys to kind of really think on that and look at that, because that's my feel. Just knowing, and yes, some is coming from experience. Because I'll tell you, it can make you sad, but it can make you angry too. Okay, especially the a binge person. Okay, when someone binges alcohol or various things, yes, they can lose the control of all of it. Throwing up, peeing, pooping, it can get very gross, very nasty. And in cases like that, now the situation, the second person that did that, what they would do is they weren't violent at all. They weren't. But they would just kind of be real sad, cry. They would say stupid things, feel sorry for themselves. And I will tell you, in those moments, I did not hit anybody, but I could be very mean. I would be. I just completely shut down, and I was so incredibly Capricorn cold. I would just be very mean and stuff. So, but because you're just so angry. You're just so angry about it, and it's just an awful thing to be around. Okay, woo. Okay, let's focus. So, what does Spirit have to say about this? A lot going on. What's real, what's not. And I know y'all want to know about the dog. I'm finding this hard to believe. Okay. As far as hanging a dog out the window. I'm just finding that hard to believe. And nobody does anything, says anything like, please bring the dog back in. And everybody just kind of sits there stoic. I'm just not buying it. Okay, so let's see what Spirit has to say. Real deep stuff to talk about tonight. It's a big one. Okay. All right, the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands, this is a completion card, but the Four of Wands also, We have to look at, let me, now once again, I see with thought, sometimes I need to show you the Rider-Waite. For those who are not familiar with tarot. Okay, I want you to kind of look. This is what the original Four of Wands is. So one of the things about it, it can be, we've got the completion card. It can be symbolic of a wedding and so forth. We've got people here. Sometimes this shows a male and female or a couple, or even female, male, you know, it varies. But it can be symbolic of a wedding and so forth. You know, a celebration. And one of the things, they got married. We know that. But one of the things the Four of Wands is especially about for me often is stability. Okay? Stable, committed relationship and so forth. You know, something, you know, a relationship built on a stable foundation. Now we're looking at, you know, Amber Heard and so forth and her testimony. Okay? So I feel the reason why this card is popping up, just like I was telling you about, you know, this is kind of the dream, you know, go get married, have this beautiful life. I do believe she wants, you know, some kind of beautiful married life and so forth. She has a view of the way she wants it and so forth and everything. You know, she wants a fairy tale. Let's put it that way. Okay, she wants the fairy tale and everything. So this is kind of the area that we're gonna kind of look at here. You know, that's what she wanted, but that's not what she got. Okay, and that could be part of the source of the anger here. Okay, a Seven of Swords. And we know we're going to pop up with that. Now, this time, it can be a betrayal card, and we definitely know she's betrayed Johnny. But look at the futility card as well. This is also called futility. Couple things there. One, yes, we have a betrayal. That is true. This is the opposing card. Notice this is the opposing card to the stability and a stable foundation, which she would have loved to have had. So we're going to shift a little bit and go to the thought futility. Okay? That this is what she wanted. She wants this beautiful, stable foundation. She wants a certain kind of life. Okay? And with him having this problem, okay, we're trying to see it through her way. Okay? So bear with me. Do your best. Everything she does is futile. Okay, trying to get him to quit drinking, stop the drug, whatever. Now, I know she's done some things here or there. I feel she was messing with addiction things too. But no, I do not feel she had as big of a problem as he did. Okay, I feel she's tried this, that, here, there, but I don't feel she had a severe thing like he does. Okay, but this is the frustrating part. Everything she tried is futile. And I can empathize with that if anybody has ever dealt with an addict. You know, trying to get them to do things, you know, please go to this rehab, please do this, please stop drinking, please stop. It's futile. No matter what you do, until they're going to do it themselves. Okay, so as you can see, this kind of stuff, you know, is shaking up the foundation and everything of what she wants, of what her dream is here, for to have a good, stable commitment foundation, what she wants. Okay, she wants it like the fairy tale, the good life, you know, now, and as far as talking about certain things, as far as, I want you to think on something too for my astrologers. Okay, Gemini. Okay, they can have two sides. Now, while she's trying to say his other side is the monster, I would say more, maybe it's not necessarily a sinister that's always pounding her, but someone who is an addict. Okay, like there's this one side, you know, when he's Johnny and he's this fabulous person, but he does have another side to contend with. All Geminis have another side. Always remember that, okay? All Geminis have another side. Okay, so we've got the gain card. Okay, so one of the things here, she does see, remember we talked about the gain card in the first read, right? That is Johnny's card. He is gaining support. Okay, he is gaining people. And yes, that concerns her. Because as he gains people supporting him, she loses people supporting her. Okay, so this is a big threat to her right now. So being on the stand and getting this story, and one of the things I told you is I feel there's going to be things said to try to shock the jury, to shock the public. She knows this is being televised. She's not stupid. Okay, so and it's got to be scary that she sees Johnny Depp gaining all this support. And she's losing support for herself. hence why she fired her PR team. Okay, so there's, a lot that is a big thing there. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Wands, the swiftness card, and a lot of that, I feel like just switched overnight, overnight very fast. For a long time, the media, and I actually was watching, you guys check out Cinema Shogun on YouTube. I like his stuff. He's just kind of a very chill guy, very just chill, ordinary guy, but he has some good talks, and he's following the trial too and giving his 2 cents. But he was even talking about how the media, and it's true, in the past was very anti Johnny Depp. Okay, but this swiftness card, phew, everything has changed. And now he's gaining supporters. Hence why the swiftness and gain card are together. So this is all going against her right now. And a lot of it is because of the tapes that he made and stuff, showing that she was hitting him. She was doing stuff. But the power card is there. And I believe that popped up in the last time. And a lot of that, trying to kind of take control of the situation and everything, this is a struggle here, and everything, just she has no power or control over what he does. And when that it doesn't happen, and he's got his issues, she's getting angry. I'm telling you, that's what's ticking off. Yes, he's innocent. She knows it. We talked about the sun. Read 1. The sun represents innocence. Okay, his innocence is coming out. Okay, there you go. And there you go, it is again. Spirit's been trying to bring that out and acknowledge that. People I read for that saying that yes, he is innocent and stuff. But no, when it comes to the addiction, yes, that's real. Okay, yes, that's real. But that's the thing. The truth is coming out, and that frightens her. So she's scrambling and stuff because she doesn't want to lose this lawsuit. She doesn't want to lose, this money. Where 50 million, he could probably cover that. She, on the other hand, would have a hard time paying it. Okay, so there we go. So the Queen of Cups is popping up in there. The Queen of Cups, she is trying to come across more sensitive, emotional. Now, day 1 testimony, getting any kind of tears to come out, not a lot of luck. And matter of fact, you need to check Cinema Shogun because he just did a video, and he showed, it looked like the New York Post, apparently from day 1 testimony. They showed a photo of her, and they photoshopped a fake tear on her face. No tears came day 1. Now, I think day 2 some did, but day 1 none did. And it looked like she was struggling trying to make some come out, but they actually photoshopped a tear on her face. Check it out. It's crazy. I actually, if you're in my group, I did put a TikTok up of that to show proof of that. And I was like, no way, no way. Because one of the big things, and I even noticed one of the big things of testimony day 1 is there was no tears. And I was a little surprised because I'm like, well, she's been an actress and she's been trained. There's got to be some coaches that have taught her how to cry on cue. Some actresses are real good at this and cry on cue and stuff like that. But why can't she cry and stuff? But sometimes if you try too hard to do something, you can't do it. So, but they photoshopped a tear on her face. Okay, crazy. Magician been popping up again a lot. Now, the Magician also, for me, can represent attorneys and representation and things like that. So I feel that kind of represents her kind of defense that's going on. Let's go ahead. I want to look at that. I see I've got that truce card. That truce card has been popping up, which is interesting. That would be great if they can make, some kind of truce deal or thing out of it and so forth. But no, this is war, honey. This is war and stuff. Now, the victory card is sitting next to Amber. Interesting. Why is she getting the victory card? This is what I feel. Hold on 1 second. And I know that probably surprises you guys. Let me shift. The thing about it is she is going to gain some supporters. Okay, that's the way it is. She's going to gain some, and she's going to pull some away from Johnny. Because there's going to be throwing in some doubts and things like that. There are going to be people that hear her story that empathize with that. So I do feel that with some of her things that she is going on, she's going to shift some back to Amber Heard. But the whole entire jury, remember, this is not the outcome. This is not the end here. Okay? because she's putting kind of doubts in their mind with some of this stuff. Okay, so but I do feel she did when she, like I said, when she talks about the addiction, I do feel she's telling the truth. It's even people that even some people I watch on YouTube that are not what were you gonna say? They're definitely pro Johnny Depp and so forth. And I see the lovers card popping out there. We're gonna talk about that. They're pro Johnny Depp. You know, like there was one I was watching and he's like, no, she's being honest here and stuff like that. You know, even when she was doing that, lovers pops up at the crown. That's the big issue and so forth. Lovers, absolutely. We'll just kind of let it sit there for a little bit and get that energy on there. Let's see what's going on. See, that's what I'm saying. The Ace of Swords. I'm telling you, when it comes to the addiction, I feel she's being honest. Okay, but Johnny is innocent here when it comes to the abuse. What about the abuse? Three of Pentacles. Okay, the Works card. Okay, so remember we talked about Works card in one of the reads. You know, we've got her, we've got her team, you know, her attorneys, and then we've got that PR team, all kind of working together. And I feel like really to try to make, you know, the jury and the public see things a certain way. Okay, but like I said, you know, the Ace of Swords, I do believe when it comes to the addiction, she's telling the truth. Two of Swords is also sitting next to that, which is interesting. Let me go ahead and look. Hold on. In her position is the Ace of Wands. This is obviously her opportunity. Finally, she gets to kind of talk and have her peace. How is that going for her so far? Yep, see, we've got Ten of Cups there. Ten of Cups is sitting next to her. So, see, I'm telling you, a lot of that, you know, that beautiful family life, dream, the love, a lot of times the Ten of Cups, you know, the happy home life, that's what she wanted. That's what she wanted. And I'm telling you, she's upset and angry that that's not the way it went down. Okay? That's just the way it is. Johnny Depp's always shows as the Knight of Wands for me, which is very interesting. So I'm looking at the outer, you know, the environment and everything. And then the Ten of Swords, the Ruin card, though, sits right next to him. I'm telling you, she just wanted to ruin him. Okay, she wanted to ruin him with all these stories and everything like that. She's angry. Now, I want you to look at something. Spirit just hit me hard with this. Okay, in Amber's position is the Ten of Cups, right? This is what she wanted. She wanted the happy family life, the well-balanced, but he has an addiction problem. She didn't get the fairy tale. She wanted the fairy tale and she didn't get it. So what does she do? She switched to the other 10 and tried to ruin him. She's angry. You know, I put in all these years and this, that, and this is what I got. You know, she was angry. She was rageful. Okay. So very interesting. This is what I wanted. You don't give me that. This is what I'm giving you. Okay. But, you know, yeah, that's the way it is. Okay, let's go ahead and look at that. But see, even in the hopes and fears, this to me is Johnny Depp, a peace offering. The Knight of Cups still offering his love. And remember, one of the things I talked to you about is when all this was going on in the very beginning, these accusations and stuff, he was trying to offer some kind of way to fix this, that he was willing to even support her if she would come out and be honest. He did try to make some peace here. Okay? He did try to do that. I believe that's why the peace card now is showing. That makes sense what Spirit's talking about. Okay? And that makes sense. Actually, that fits well. Okay? Because she sat on the fence with this. Okay? With what's going on. Okay? And then she made her choice. This is the Two of Swords to make a choice and stuff. Because he tried to make an offer. Please, you know, don't do this. You know, let's come out, tell the truth. I will support you. I will say I support you. I'm by your side. This, that. You know, you were having a bad time, whatever. You know, and she made her choice and so forth. But I do feel though there are some things that she's telling her true. Like I said, the addiction. Just everything I'm feeling. But I do feel she is shifting. She does have victory in her section. That she is shifting some people to her side. There are some coming. Okay? There are some coming. And empathizing. Okay? Okay, so the outcome is the Queen of Dis. So let me kind of tune in there. That's interesting. Now, one, I'm gonna have to pull a clarifier because I feel another female is going to testify on something. I don't know which one. Now, I know Kate Moss's name got mentioned, and that may open the door for something because he smiled when she did. They something about her needing to be mentioned, that possibly something could come up there. But next to that also is the lust card and everything. So there is this kind of, which can be lust and kind of greedy, this power kind of thing going on there, which is not good. And I'll just do one more. There you go, the love card. Spirit told me to pull one more, the love card, the Two of Cups. It's a hell of a story. It's a hell of a story and stuff, And I feel that Spirit's kind of pulling that back in the Two of Cups energy, which was in her first read, that I do believe, Spirit just wants to emphasize these people really did love each other, but there was a lot of problems and drama. They are two traumatized people, okay, that had their own trauma. She obviously grew up with some kind of addiction in her family, okay. Then she meets Johnny, who has an addiction, and then he grew up with abuse with the mother, okay, and then she's an abuser. Okay, so this is the dynamic that played between these two. A lot of projection. That's some heavy stuff. Okay, but I do believe they loved each other at one time. That's the crazy thing. But yeah, I'm telling you, a lot of that, the fairy tale. This is what she wanted. The very first card I showed you, the Four of Wands, the stability, a good, marriage, relationship, and all that. But this addiction made her furious. Okay, this made her furious, rage. You're robbing me of my dream, of my fairy tale, by being this person. And I feel trying to get him to try to change. And if anybody has ever been with an addict, and I'm sure somebody watching this has to have been, okay, knows just what that does to any kind of connection or relationship. And, when they're sober, who they can be. And then when they, and when they're inebriated, how it is and how awful. And it can make you angry. It can make you sad, but it can also make you angry. And so, but I'm not, just like, if you notice in my reads, I'm not getting physical violence cards for Johnny Depp. No Five of Wands, no Five of Swords. Okay, I'm not getting the physical violence. Okay, in any of the reads I've done. So which also is another thing that makes me feel that yes, I don't feel physical violence was his thing. And I talked to you guys about that in read number 1 when we talked about addiction. Everybody reacts differently to an addiction. Everybody's different. Some people rage. Some people do not. Some people just go pass out. It looks like he kind of passes out. There's definitely a lot of that and everything, and just mellow, and they're just real chill. Everybody is different and stuff. And of course, people can react differently each time they, do something. So let's kind of look at that. What we've got here. It's really interesting, though, that there is, it would be so great if they could heal. I feel one day, probably heal together. Maybe not. Maybe one day they can make a truce. But yes, the birch rod is the very first card, which this is the quarrels between people, especially married couples. Let me read that. Birch rod brings strife to what should be bliss. There you go. To husband and wife, all has gone amiss. Prepare for sorrows that dampen the day, begotten of quarrels that bring much dismay. Okay, that's the thing, the fighting, the quarreling. What should be bliss? Okay, what should be bliss? And things could have been bliss, but there was a lot. Like I said, I feel what he's got, the addiction, that, being around it, made a rage. Okay, and he certainly doesn't deserve to be beat on, okay, or get what he gets. But, it wasn't, and I feel after a while it almost got a little sadistic. Okay, that, just being cruel. Being cruel. You're robbing me of my dream, of my fairy tale. Okay, this is what I kind of feel. Now, we've also got the card Key. Inspiration unlocks the door. Solutions are the key to success and more. Miracles and insight are easy to trace. Once the final piece tumbles into place. What is the final key there? Okay, so something interesting coming up in this trial. something is going to unlock and stuff. But a miracle there, that would be great and stuff. And also, I like the stork. This is where I feel like spirit is trying, would like even both of them to heal. Okay, both of them to heal. A stork in flight promises delight. A stork in range signals change. Progress heals pain drawn from the past. Embrace kindness and new friendships will last. So I feel progress heals pain. So, I feel there can be progress. Even though this the trials, some may see it as a dumpster fire, that's possible, but it can also be a vehicle of healing for these people. Okay, and then we've also got the garden's a treat, to a party you'll go, new friends will arrive, and romance may flow. Life's to be enjoyed with nature around, and the spirit setting, beauty, and peace abound. So I do feel these, if they can find peace, good friends, get rid of the bad friends. They both have the ability to heal, which I really hope they can. And so even her. Yes, it would be beautiful if she would just tell the truth and everything. I know, and just be, that's what I wish she would do. If she did that, but she would lose a lot of money. So she can't now. But if she would, instead of, trying to do this Me Too movement, because there is something in there, she does have an issue with wanting attention. Okay, she wants attention. She wants to be a star. She's still, she's still got that. But it's like she wants his sympathy and attention. But if she would have came out and just been honest about stuff, and even admitted, yeah, I flipped out on him. I was so frustrated because, a real story. People would have empathized with that. They would have liked her hurting him or anything, of course. But if she would have been real and everything and owned up, it could have been a completely different thing. Yeah, the journey, really the journey, and I told you guys I got the journey card for Johnny. This is part of his journey, and this is hers too, okay? They got to do that. But we got the coffin. I'm hoping we can put to bed a lot of this stuff, which can be a dramatic ending. But, the hard part, the coffin, is his career, is what she did to it. Hopefully he can resurrect that and so forth. But toilet labor, I'm hoping that also means he can get back to work, though, and kind of fix that. That's what I'm hoping, that he'll start getting roles. I have a feeling, and so forth. Now, remember I ended with the Queen of Pentacles? I've got the mature woman coming up. So I'm feeling a significant woman. I do not know who it is. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles. Excuse me, did I say Queen of Cups? Queen of Pentacles. Another woman is going to testify that I feel could be very powerful. And apparently is a mature woman. So I feel something coming up here. It could be a past relationship or something of his. I don't know. Or something. But I feel somebody maybe being able to be brought into this that may have something significant to say that could help him and so forth. And let's go ahead and see. Yep, and that sudden wealth card is popping up. I'm telling you, Johnny Depp, I feel he's going to win. Yep, there actually may be a couple. We've got a main female. And then we've got a mature woman popping up in here. Someone's coming up that's significant. Something is happening here. Very interesting. Very interesting. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. But so it could be even two females that pop up that have something significant to say. Ex-lovers of the past, something? I would have thought they would have already been interviewed, but maybe something happens where somebody is brought in that they could say something. But I have a feeling I want to keep an eye on some females that are going to testify. Wow, that was a really long read. Oh my God, that's a big video. But I just want to get it out there. And that's what you got to do sometimes as readers and as spiritualists. If you want to get to the truth, of a situation, especially when people are trying to do stuff, what's really going on here? Okay, and that's what we attempt to, that's what we try to do. But that's kind of been my assessment, really kind of tuned it in. Like I said, I'm Team Johnny, don't worry. But that's what I feel is what is making her rage and hurt him. Okay, is the situation with the drugs and everything. You're robbing me of my fairy tale. Because there's when she kind of talks about certain things, there's definitely, a like a dreamy romantic fantasy, kind of thing that she really kind of wanted to have here and so forth. And now it's got, you know, these dark stories, you know, tales and things like that. But so far, okay, from her tales, like I said, he's gaining. Okay, the innocence still stands. So it looks like, for what she has said, Sun card shows that he's innocent of these beating accusations. She's not telling the truth as far as what's going on, as far as some of these abuse stories that when you hear them are like, what? But just like I showed you guys, you know, I showed you the photo. Let me just show it to you again. You know, this is an older one. Was this 2014, or maybe it was further back. She looks so much younger here, and she claims, it hardly even looks like her. She claims that she was beat repeatedly in the face, and there's just nothing on that face there. There's just nothing on that face, and so forth. So, and that's really bizarre. That's really bizarre. So I feel there started to be a hatred. I feel an anger, you know, because I didn't get things my way and stuff, you know, trying to control everything. So that's a little bit what I feel. That was a little bit longer than I thought, but let's go ahead and see. And I definitely want to see, you know, how his team, when they go to her, how that's going to go. Very interesting.